Dear all, everyone, good morning to you. Today we will discuss about caste and politics. What is our topic today? Caste and politics. Caste and politics. Can you tell me, anybody, what we studied in the last class? Any one of you? Yes? Yes, communalism, and what are the different ways communalism can take in politics? Yes, correct. Okay, we have seen two examples or instances in the expression of politics of social division. We have seen that one is largely positive and another is largely negative. Gender division or the expression of gender division in politics, that may be sometimes positive because it allows women to get their platforms in the public sphere. At the same time, religion, if it is expressed in politics, sometimes it may be explosive and very dangerous. So that we called it is not good, that is negative. So let us come back to the last case, that is caste and politics, that has both positive and negative aspects. Okay, when we are talking about caste and politics, it has both positive and negative impacts or aspects. So first of all, we'll see about caste inequalities. Caste inequalities. Caste inequalities. Unlike gender and religion, we have seen that last classes, gender as well as religion. Caste is very peculiar to Indian society. Okay, our society, especially our country, is based on caste, or caste is a very peculiar feature of Indian society. All societies, in all societies, there may be some kind of discrimination or some kind of division of labor. In the beginning of the topic, we have discussed about sexual division of labor. That means certain kinds of jobs are only for women and certain jobs, when it is paid, men are ready to take up. So there is a sexual division of labor. Similarly, some other occupational division of labor. In most societies, occupation passed from one generation to another. How occupation is passed from one generation to another? If your father is doing some work of goldsmith or barbers or washerman or blacksmith, okay, such a type of same works, these are transforming or continuing or passed from one generation to another generation. If your father is doing some work, traditionally doing gold works or blacksmith or some other kind of works, people used to follow the same work. Okay, this was the condition. Okay, what was the reason for this? This is the extreme form of caste system. When you are passing or taking up a occupation, an occupation from your ancestors. Traditionally, what your father or your family was practiced. If you are taking up the same occupation, that was the extreme form of casteism in the Indian society, that we can see that. Okay, caste system, what makes it different from other societies is that, what makes it different from other societies is that in this system, hereditary occupational division was sanctioned by rituals. What was sanctioned by rituals? Hereditary occupational division. Occupational division. Hereditary occupational division was sanctioned by rituals. For a long time, you are doing the same tradition. You are doing the same profession. So this is sanctioned by rituals, or society, they is sanctioned by rituals. Okay. So when you are taking up these jobs, when you are taking up the traditional jobs, caste is the extreme form of when you are taking or continuing the same profession or occupation. Now you know that the same caste group, they used to form a social community. Okay, they used to do a similar kind of work or occupation, and they are married with the same caste group, or sometimes they are not ready to eat with some other caste groups. That is also important. Okay, you see that now when you are taking, even though Indian society is developed due to education and all, but most of the time you can see that there are certain communities, they are not allowed to marry their son or daughters from other community than they believe. This is extreme form of communalism, extreme form of casteism. If you are not ready to marry within the person from outside or outside your caste, and you believe solely in that particular caste is good, okay, and you are not allowing to do such a type of social practices, this is some kind of extreme form of communalism or casteism. And sometimes people are not ready to eat with some other people. Okay, some kind of people, they are not ready to eat with some other communities. They are always eating with the same kind of people or same line of people. So this what we call the extreme form of casteism. This is very dangerous to our society as far as these are concerned. Caste system was based on exclusion and discrimination against outcast groups. Okay, discrimination against outcast group. Who is outcast group? Outcast groups, the people belongs to Dalits. They used to, they are subjected to practice inhuman practices like untouchability. Okay, in the olden time, during the time of Vedic period or olden times, the upper caste people were treated very badly to the lower caste people, especially outcast groups, Dalits. Okay, we can call it Dalits. Dalits. So, people used to treat, they were subjected to inhuman practice like untouchability. What is untouchability? When upper caste people are coming, upper caste people are coming, when the lower caste people are passing near to that, okay, they used to go in one side, or they have to use to stand like this. They are not to pass, they are not allowed to go to the same way which the upper caste people go. They are not touching, they are not mingling with these people. Okay, such a type of discrimination and untouchability was practiced in the Indian society. This is a extreme form of casteism. You can understand that. So that is why the leaders, social leaders as well as political leaders and social reformers like Jyotiba Phule, Gandhiji, and even Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Periyar Ramaswamy Naicker, okay, all these leaders advocated and established a society in which caste inequalities are absent. They wanted to establish a society that is of absence, that cannot be seen in the casteism, the absence of caste inequalities. Okay, all these leaders were very great important. Who are these leaders? Okay, Jyotiba Phule, Gandhiji, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and Periyar Ramaswamy Naik. Periyar Ramaswamy Naik. They advocated to establish a society in which caste inequalities are absent. So, partly due to their efforts and partly due to the economic changes, we can call it. Sometimes partly due to their efforts and sometimes partly due to their socio-economic changes, the caste system in India has undergone great changes. Okay. Now you can see that there is great differences of the society of India with the economic development, then large scale urbanization. Okay, we have to understand some technical terms. With the large scale urbanization, then different types of growth of literacy and education, occupational mobility, and the weakening of the position of landlords in the village. The old system of caste hierarchy are breaking down. Due to many factors, economic factors are there, with education, with literacy rate. Okay. There is a weakening position of the landlords. Okay, in the olden time, landlords played a very vital role in societies. What they used to say, the outcast youth used to obey. So, due to education, urbanization, occupational mobility, caste hierarchy are breaking down. So, all these technical terms you used to understand that. Okay, what are these? First of all, I told you that occupational mobility, urbanization, and the caste hierarchy. All this term you used to understand properly. So what is urbanization? Shift of people from rural areas to urban areas. Why people wanted to move from village to cities? In order to get economic benefits or some kind of education or any other facilities like medical facilities. So people used to shift from rural areas to urban areas, that is we call the urbanization. Okay. So urbanization played a very important role in order to remove the caste hierarchies in the Indian societies. Second one, we can take it example of occupational mobilities. What is occupational mobility? Shift of occupation from one to another. what occupation you used to do traditionally, you are shifting or changing from the traditional occupation. Okay, usually when a new generation is taking up a new job or new occupation other than those practiced by their ancestors. I have told example in the beginning. What example I have told you? Son of a blacksmith continuing the same, son of a barber continuing the same profession or occupation, son of a goldsmith continuing the same profession, like a number of examples I have told you. So such type of examples are important for occupational mobility. That means now people are taking up the occupation those practiced by other than those practiced by their ancestors. Now nobody is bothering about what is our traditional or ancestors' work. Now due to education and literacy rate, people are thinking about why can't. Okay, that is the reason some breaking down of caste hierarchy. So what is caste hierarchy? It is a ladder-like formation. Okay, I have explained before also. During the time of Varna system in Vedic period, okay, caste system or Varna system was there. Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishyas and Shudra. Okay, you might have studied about that. Okay, at the top, Brahmins, then Kshatriyas, then Vaisyas and Shudra. These are called Varna system. So, what we understand here, in a caste hierarchy, it is a ladder-like formation in which upper caste are used to place in the top and the lower caste at the bottom. Okay, so with these three important facts, the position of the landlords in the village, the old notion of caste hierarchy are breaking down. Now people are not listening in most of the society. Okay, in some parts of India still it is continuing. The role of landlords are very important, but most of the Indian society, people are not bothering about the landlords, what they say. They have separate or independent vision. They are not listening now. Okay, now due to this urbanization, occupational mobility and caste hierarchy, there are lot of changes taking place in our society. Now, most of the time in our society which we live, okay, it is not a matter. Okay, even urban areas, it does not matter much who is walking along next to us on a street. When we are walking in the street, we are not bothering about who is walking next to us, or eating in a restaurant, in the next table, who is sitting. Okay, if you are thinking, who is walking along next to us, whether he belongs to our caste group, or when we are taking food in the restaurant, when we are sitting in a table, when other people are coming and sitting, when your mind is working or thinking, whether he is belong to our caste group. Okay, such a type of thinking if you have, that is extreme form of casteism in your mind, please change it. Doesn't matter now. Okay, now doesn't matter who is walking along next to us on the street. There is no time. People are hustle and bustle in this life. Okay, hustle, bustle. People are not bothering about who is walking on a street next to us, around next to us, or who is eating in a table, okay, next to us, who is sitting. Okay, there is no time to think all these matters in our society now. Okay, but if you are thinking, it is very dangerous. Okay, and the Constitution of India even prohibited caste-based discrimination. Okay, even in our Constitution also prohibited caste-based discrimination. There is no last class I told you about. Okay, there is a constitutional provisions. Okay, there should not be any sort of discrimination on the basis of religion or on the grounds of religion. So all these are prohibited our Indian Constitution. But if a person who lived in the for a century ago were returned to India, who would be greatly surprised at the changes that has come about in the country. Okay, oh, what are the changes taken place in our society? Okay, what are the great changes? There is no caste hierarchy. People are shifting from their traditional occupation. Okay, those practiced by their ancestors. Urbanization, large-scale urbanization, literacy rate, education. So many changes has taken place in our society. He may or she may wonder what are the changes taken place in our societies. But a caste system has not disappeared in our society. All these changes are taken place, but still we can understand that still caste system has been completely vanished. There are several examples we can say that. People are married with the same caste, even though lot of changes has taken place, but still people are married from the same caste. When marriage comes, father and mother, they never think about another caste. Some exceptional cases, some love marriages. Other than, even in an arranged marriage, the parents never prefer their son or daughters married from other caste groups. So we can say that inequality, caste inequalities are still persistent in our society. Another example, untouchability has not completely vanished, even though constitutional provisions are there. Despite the constitutional provisions, in some parts of the Indian society, we can see that upper caste people or some people, they are always discriminating the lower caste people. Last year we studied a number of examples of discrimination, okay, or untouchability. Tea stalls keeps different types of cups. Last year, I think you maybe remember about that, okay. Last year when we studied in constitutional rights, okay, in fundamental rights, you may have studied about that. Tea stalls, okay, or they are keeping two types of cups. One is for upper caste and one is for lower caste. Or barbers are refused to shave or do work for their daily clients. Sometimes daily students are not allowed to sit in the front bench of the classroom. They are giving some sort of works, cleaning the classroom or rubbing the board, such a type of practices. Or daily clients or people are not allowed to take water from the public well, or the government sponsored things. Such a type of inhuman practices are still going on our society. So all these are examples. Caste inequalities are still continuing in India. There are so many examples we can see that caste inequalities are still continuing in our society. The caste groups that had access to education. In the olden times, only some upper caste people are allowed to take education. Those who have access to education, their educational facility become more. They got very good experience in the educational system, and caste groups that had access to education under the old system have done very well in acquiring modern education, and those groups that have no access to education, they are lagging behind in the field of education. That is the reason in most of the middle classes in urban societies you can see that the upper caste people are more educated comparatively in the lower caste. So all these examples we can see that caste inequalities are still continuing in India. Okay, people are marrying from the same caste groups. Even untouchability is not completely vanished. Okay, even though constitutional provisions are there, all these examples are showing that still caste system or caste inequalities are continuing in our society. Okay, now the remaining topic we will discuss tomorrow. Thank you.